First, stop being nice to men. We are too nice to men and they're not nice enough to us. Stop worrying about his feelings. Number two, don't...
Women, stop being nice to men. Yes. Stop being nice to men. You know why? Because the man will take it as you're flirting with him, that you want him.
The college thing to me, as somebody who wants to go back to school, I find interesting because it does go back to class, as you were saying. What ends up happening is that women writ large, they achieve this type of education, they earn their middle management money, and what they're expecting is now that allows for them to go for the top shelf man. Think of top shelf alcohol. That is what they're thinking, right? So it's if I make McDonald's money, then I get a Walmart man. If I'm making middle management money, I should get middle management and above man.
Salute to Shay Sharday and my main man, Mr. Z Black in Effect. If we're going to live in a society where men and women are going to get educations beside each other, then some of the traditions that we have grown used to have to evolve. And you can see in this picture next to me that this Christian college of nursing students have figured it out. Blue collar, white collar, whatever their husbands are, they realize that a man wants to marry his wife younger and he wants to have a family younger. And if you're not going to give that to men, then you're going to have to deal with colored pills.
This red pill nonsense is getting so bad to the point where other men are hating on other men because they love their wives and their girlfriends. The amount of comments I get from men being angry at other men for posting their girlfriends or saying that I cook for my girlfriend or I make her happy is crazy. Like, they are literally going to be completely and utterly alone and blame everyone else but themselves for it. They're hateful towards the women in their life and women online, and they're also hateful towards men that aren't hateful towards women. And then when they end up shooting themselves in the back of the head by the time they're 35, the male loneliness epidemic is going to be blamed on women. Like, y'all are just miserable. Not even other men can help you. Oh my God, like red pill men, that's like a whole nother category of men, and I need them to just like stop.
In this new environment, it seems that for many young ladies, the idea of being strong feminine is essentially to be mean and standoffish to men. Of course, this goes at the very nature of what attracts men to women in the first place. And this back and forth between Mr. Z Black in Effect and Shay Sharday is going to speak directly to that.
Right. And that's not how life works. What they don't appreciate is as you climb up that ladder as a man or a woman, you crowd out. If you're looking up, you're crowding out more and more people. And that applies to women also. The problem is the men are far more likely to date and marry down within the Black community and out of the Black community than the women are. This is where Black women get all of their wires crossed.
Yes.
And women, you know, as a group, actually.
As a college-educated woman and who has come from a long line of educators, right? Like, I'm not against education, but I recognize that that has literally nothing to do with making someone marriageable or making someone desirable with respect to a man. Like, I've never met a man that's gotten turned on by the fact that a woman has a bachelor's or a master's. Not once. It's never happened. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong if you've seen that before, Mr. Z, but I'm like, I don't know men to inherently be attracted to women because of the
It's the plus.
ちなライブ等でリアルで姿拝見したことあるので惚れました。めっちゃライブ何の
I want you to listen to this back and forth between the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Representative Thompson of the Ways and Means Committee. It's a somewhat friendly back and forth, but it's a control for the point that I want to show you in this video.
Mr. Secretary, can you point to one independent study, one study performed by an expert PhD economist who is not on the payroll of this administration that says that this legislation will not add to our national debt?
Well, Congressman, if...
Yes or no? Can you point to one?
If we want to look at the CBO, which...
No, I'm not asking you, is there an independent expert that you can point to that says that this bill will not add to our national debt? Yes or no?
Yes.
There is?
Yes.
What are they?
Art Laffer.
Pardon me?
Art Laffer.
Art Laffer? Great.
Now, what's important about this back and forth, if you care about what they're speaking about or not, is that this is a normal back and forth between two men. It's nothing personal. They have differences of points of view, and this is two men hashing out an argument or a disagreement. This is the control.
Number 2, don't be a good girl. Men say that they want a good girl, but they really don't. Men don't know what they want. They say a lot of things, but they do the opposite. Be you. In fact, be a little mean.
This is a second back and forth, this time with Secretary Bessent and Representative Sanchez. They're going to disagree again, but then you're going to see why many men in the modern dating market and even just dealing with women, brains are just going haywire because we don't really know how to play the interaction game, dating or otherwise.
Mr. Secretary, do you still believe that the president's tariffs are going to be a one-time price adjustment for American families?
If prices go up, they will be one time.
Okay, well, unfortunately, you appear to be talking out of both sides of your mouth because you yourself have admitted, after conversations with Walmart, that some tariff costs are going to get passed on to consumers. And in fact, we've already seen that prices are rising on many everyday goods.
Congresswoman,
please don't interrupt me.
We had
the time is mine. The time is mine. Please don't interrupt me. I will ask you questions and I will grant you an opportunity to answer them, but please don't interrupt me during my time.
With pleasure.
Okay, I know I'm a woman, but please try to limit yourself to answering my questions. No, I'm sorry, but...
You can hear the moan in the room, and for whatever reason, some people may say that there's sexism and feminism or whatever, but if you're trying to have this kind of conversation, if it's two men, you heard how two men go back and forth. But in this case, he's being rude because she's a woman. It makes guys' brains go haywire. And you have two options. Either you retreat or you look somewhere else.
We get talked over all the time, and I don't want that to happen at this hearing.
I would remind members, the gentlelady is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you. The time is mine.
でもきっとその言い分だとフィレオフィッシュは頭良かったんでしょうね。
Soon enough, I'll explain why I put the young, beautiful Japanese lady in this video, but I want you to hear the analogy from Mr. Z Black in Effect.
To inherently be attracted to women because of the...
It's the plus. It's the fries to the burger. Your femininity is the burger. Your kindness is the burger. Your fitness is the burger. Your demeanor is the burger. Your education is the fries. It's the plus. We could do without the fries. We want the fries. We like the fries, right? Some of us, we have to have the burger and the fries. But you can't come to us with just fries. And you can't make up for not having the burger with fries, just fries. And what is happening is you're meeting a lot of, and this is not just a Black women thing, mean, snarky, materialistic, consumerist, entitled brats masquerading as adults, but they're really 12-year-olds, throwing a temper tantrum that their education does not allow for them to get the elite man.
It is. I'll be trying to tell all my married friends they're just contract prostitutes. It's just that they're contract sex.
Don't be accessible to them all the time. I know we think that they'll like us more when we always answer their phone calls and we're there for them and we'll drop everything when they need us. And I wish I can say that that's true, but it's not.
In your opinion, to the gender war that we got going on, we talked about the manosphere, we talked about Trump being reelected and the percentages of how people voted, all legitimate stuff. This brother we just played right here, I apologize if it was buffering. It's buffering on my end. I apologize for that. He's saying, we can't tell this, and women want to stay away from us, and guys want to stay away from the women, and guys are getting on airplanes, which is just it's mind-boggling when you think about it. They're getting on airplanes, going someplace else because they don't want to deal with the woman who's down the street. So is there an end to this situation that we got going on, in your opinion?
I don't see one anytime soon. And to go to your point, it's mind-boggling to you that a brother would get on a plane when there's sisters down the street. So, and I know you've heard this, there are roughly 2 million more Black women than Black men. You probably heard that before. Okay. So in light of that fact, We have a surplus of black women. We got 2 million more than black men. Okay, so why do we have passport bros? If we have 2 million more black women than black men, why are black men getting on planes and flying thousands of miles away? Why is that?
And the answer to Obsidian's question can be found in this banter I was having with this young lady on a TikTok live. She is a Hafu black Japanese young lady. She's 26 years old, and you can see she's stunning. But I don't expect you to understand what she is saying. I can understand it, and it's one reason why I tell guys to do your studying in foreign languages. But that said, however, pay attention to her mannerisms. It's these mannerisms that men are getting on planes for.
期末テストって何歳あなた？いや、私は26ですよ。はい。全然めっちゃ大人なんですけど、このね、聞いてくれてる女の子が期末テストなんだって。ちなライブ等でリアルで姿拝見したことあるので惚れました。めっちゃ。ライブ？何の？私のライブ？それとも別のアーティストのライブ？やるねーとか言って、せやろ？でもきっとその言い分だとフィラフィッシュは頭良かったんでしょうねえ。男性に求めることは優しさ、思いやり、愛情深さ、あと家族大事にしてる。
Someone that cares about family. So she was asked, what kind of man are you looking for? And she's saying someone who cares about family, someone who's sympathetic, that someone that's nice. Of course, she wants a guy that has money, but that's a given. But look at her mannerisms. I think in the end of all of it, when we start talking about passport bros, guys are literally going overseas because they're missing this female softness.
If we got 2 million more black women than black men, why are brothers getting on planes and flying to Brazil? Why is that? Why are they getting on planes and flying to Africa? Why are they getting on planes and flying to Cuba? Why are they getting on planes and flying to Panama? Why are they getting on planes and flying to South Korea? Why are they getting on planes and going to Thailand if we got 2 million more black women than black men? Why? Right? I mean, you sit down and think about it. I mean, you got to make that make sense. If you got 2 million more if you got 2 million more black women and you got brothers getting passports, is something wrong here? Something is wrong here.
Glorious Love says because they don't like black women.
But they like black women in Colombia.
期末テストって何歳あなた？いや、私は26ですよ。はい。全然めっちゃ大人なんですけど、このね、聞いてくれてる女の子が期末テストなんだって。ちなライブ等でリアルで姿拝見したことあるので惚れました。めっちゃ。ライブ？何の？
And if you are willing to do the work, there are beautiful Hafu black women in Japan as well. When we talk about guys getting on airplanes, they're looking for this. Not only is she visually stunning, but you can sense that her femininity is natural, that she has a softness about her that is going to be who she actually is, even when she is trying to portray some masculinity. Instead of an environment where young ladies are teaching other young ladies that being mean and being less accommodable to men is a way of showing your strength and masculinity, really what it is a way of telling men that I can't treat you like a man because you're not a man, but I can't treat you like a young lady or a woman or a soft young lady because you don't want to be treated that way. So I don't know how to approach you. And that might be a contributing factor why guys are getting on airplanes. When you see the back and forth between the Treasury Secretary and the representative, she immediately goes to, don't overtalk me because women are overtalked and we're taken advantage of. And the short circuit in him says, well, I usually talk to men the same way, and this is a venue where we're talking business, so I don't really know where to go with this. And like I said, guys are going to withdraw or they're going to go somewhere else. And that going somewhere else can be seen in beautiful young ladies like the one you saw in this video. And having a fight with her probably is even better than having a nice day with a young lady who portrays and is proud of her meanness when dealing with men. That might be exactly why the passport is looking so wonderful to a growing number of men these days. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.